Today on Wobblycogs workshop we go back into the past with a quick video of the demolition of the structure standing where my new workshop is. Considering the old building had no foundations to speak of, it was doing surprisingly well. At some point in the past the roof had failed, and rather than fix it, some bright spark had decided it would be a good idea to add another complete roof. The second roof wasn't very well installed, and over time it too had failed, and the overall structure had become quite unsafe. According to my builder friend, you'd normally take a roof off from above. You walk around on the roof scraping off the felt, then pry off the chipboard, throwing everything over the side as you go. Unfortunately that wasn't going to work here, as the flat roof had failed so badly it was unsafe to walk on. The only alternative therefore was to dismantle it from below, which is dusty, dirty work. As you can see, I've already cut an access hole in the lower roof, and now I'm going to open up between the next two roof timbers. The first step is to drill a hole large enough to allow me to get my sabre saw blade through. Now it's just a matter of cutting along the edge of the roof timbers to free up the panel between them. Once you've cut along both sides, you can just tap on the top with a hammer to take the pieces out. Getting the upper flat roof down was a little more difficult. I initially just hit it with a breaker bar until it gave up, but I quickly discovered that was hard work. After a bit of experimentation I found that with care the sabre saw can be used to cut roofing felt. The trick is to drive the saw into the felt and cut it quickly, thus preventing too much heat build-up which melts the tar onto the blade. Once the felt is broken or has been cut, quite large chunks can be removed at a time. Here I'm still learning the best method, so the pieces I'm pulling down are quite small, but I was soon pulling down pieces a metre or more long. Since the roof was in a fairly poor state, I decided it would be best to remove weight from each side evenly. This would prevent one side pushing on the other and causing a collapse. The downside of this approach was that I'd have to move the scaffolding fairly regularly. This clip shows the first time I moved the scaffolding for real. To get under the central roof timber I had to remove the guardrails. So now I'll shut up for a bit and give you some time lapse of me taking the roof down. There are a lot of things wrong with this roof, but this one really took the biscuit. For some reason about half a dozen roof timbers on one side stopped short of the central support beam. There was no evidence the ends had rotted off, they just seemed to be too short. By the end of day 3 I'd probably got about half the flat roof off. One of the less enjoyable aspects of this demolition was constantly having to stop to clear away the debris. It was quite surprising just how much stuff there is in a roof. Thankfully I had a willing helper on hand. Now that I had most of the felt off, I decided to start removing some of the timber. This was a welcome change from the dusty job of taking felt off. Up until this point, unless the whole roof had collapsed, there hadn't been that much that could cause serious injury. Getting this purlin down though required a bit of planning. It's about 40 cm square and getting on for 5 metres in length. My solution was to tie a strap to the beam and have the wife pull on the strap while I cut through the beam, the idea being that the strap would help it fall away from me and the scaffolding. I didn't want the beam to break the concrete slab I was working on, so I rigged up a wooden crash mat for it to land on. Now that the roof was down, I was left with the small matter of taking down the walls. Due to its age, the bricks in our house are stuck together with lime mortar. I say stuck in the loosest sense of the word though, as most of the time you can pull them apart by hand. For some reason I stopped filming at that point, but I did take a load of photos and shoot a single clip of the site after I'd finished. If you're wondering, the skip guy said I had the tidiest skip he had ever seen. Thanks for watching, please share, like and subscribe. Bye till next time.